Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How's everybody doing today? I know you haven't seen me in a minute. Actually had some health issues last week, but I am recovering. Apparently, I have some kind of neurological condition, and I've had 3 episodes in the last 7 years. Not COVID related or not not related. Hey, Greg, what's up, dude? Not related to the jab. I did get the jab. I started having this condition long before COVID came along, 2016, and then 2019, and now 2023. But all of that notwithstanding, God is good, and life is precious. God is good, and life is precious. And that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. How's everybody doing out there? How are you doing, Greg? Mr. Jazz Cryptos. GC Jazz Cryptos. I like that. What's your time zone, Greg? You're in the UK, right? Thought I would just take a few minutes. I actually am not supposed to be looking at screens for too long, so I'm going to try not to look at my screens for too long. I'm going to do this and then go lay down on the couch and rest. First of all, let's take a look at this 3-day chart. So if you notice, when we broke out here, I set a target for the measured move of the break of this structure. And where did we hit resistance? Right at the measured move. Almost exactly. We got a little wick above it. So that in and of itself is pretty crazy. Secondly, when we got up here and when we hit the top of this thing, I was noticing the strong bearish divergence in the RSI and started calling for a pullback to 24,000. I was calling for that pretty early. A lot of other guys were calling for 34,000. Not to toot my own horn, but toot. One particular person I follow and highly respect and have learned a lot from was calling out for 34,000 when we hit here. And I was saying, no, it's going down to 24. And when we got over here, he was somewhere over here, he started saying, I think we're going to 24. So that felt good. But, of course, I've been wrong on many occasions too, so you can't toot your horn too loudly because someone will be there to say, yeah, but you also said, I did. I said a lot of stuff that was wrong. But at the end of the day, this is playing out pretty much the way I expected it to play out so far. Now, I must confess that I do not know, I had a very strong sense that we were going to 24 when we got here. I don't have such a strong sense as to what's next. And I think there can be multiple scenarios at play here that I'd simply like to explore. So first of all, just on a macro level, when you see the RSI, there's this misconception that when the RSI goes down, it's bearish, and when the RSI goes up, it's bullish. Well, yes and no. I mean, when the RSI is going down, it means, yes, you're in a downtrend. The momentum is decreasing. But what we don't realize is that the momentum decreases. When the upward momentum decreases, it's a wind up. So downward momentum is a wind up for upward momentum. So as I see the RSI coming down, what really the RSI is doing is recovering. So when the RSI gets way up here in the overbought position, the momentum for a further move upward has been extinguished. Why? Because all of the supply has been extinguished. So the bulls have to kind of tap the brakes and let the bears take over for a while, and bring it down and let the RSI recover. And as the RSI recovers, the bulls are building steam for the next move up. Okay. Now, what we're seeing here on the RSI, when we look at the lows here on the 3-day chart, is we're seeing hidden bullish divergence. Why? Because from this low to this low, make it green, we got a lower low in the RSI, but from the corresponding low in the price to the corresponding low in the price is a higher low. So we got a lower low in the RSI, a higher low in the price. That is, folks, hidden bullish divergence. This is the RSI on the 3-day chart saying the likelihood is that the uptrend will continue. Which suggests that we're probably going to bounce at this line. Even if we wick down into this area, the uptrend more than likely will continue so hidden divergences and classic divergences, the difference between them is that hidden divergences are continuation patterns, whereas classic divergences are reversal patterns. So this is a continuation pattern. It's telling us that this uptrend is not over, that this is just a correction, and that the uptrend would continue. And if the uptrend does continue, my next target is $33,420, somewhere in that range. Although I do have a theory, and one of my patrons actually articulated that theory very clearly yesterday, that we could see a pump towards 34,000 and then a huge dump. And that is precisely what I expect. But of course, it's a theory. When I say it's a theory, what I mean is that the charts don't exactly spell it out. I don't see huge evidence of this in the chart. It's just a theory. And what's a theory worth? Not much. You don't bank on it. It's just a hypothesis, an educated guess. But I like to look at stuff where there's evidence. Now, the evidence for the pullback to 24,000 back in April when I started calling for it was very clear. The evidence was strong bearish divergence in the RSI. See here, the RSI topped out. And this is interesting. I never saw this before. But what if you looked at it from this point of view? Where was the top of the RSI? Was this the top? Top of the RSI was right here. So what if the price is coming back to the in other words, what if the top of the RSI is the target for price? It seems to be working out perfectly here. That when the RSI topped out, even though the price continued, the price is coming back to visit the precise place where the RSI topped out. That once again is a theory. We can break beneath it. We can establish support above it. It's just a theory. Thought that was interesting. All right, I'm going to go over here to the weekly chart. I'm looking at the weekly chart a little bit simpler. And what I'm seeing on the weekly chart, these support bands I've drawn, are simply buyer zones. What we see when we see a long wick like this is aggressive buying pressure. What we're seeing on the weekly chart is that beneath 21,953, we've got aggressive buying pressure. We've got buyers waiting in this zone here. And then down here, we've got a secondary buyer zone. So there are order blocks that are waiting in both of these areas here. Just waiting for buyers to come. I'm just waiting for the price to come down. So these will be strong areas of support. If the price visits this area here, it's going to be bought up. And if the price ever visits this area here, it's going to be bought up. There's strong money waiting in both of those areas. However, I want you to notice something that I'm seeing differently on the macro. Look at the highs. Lower high in the RSI. But the corresponding highs in the, a higher high in the RSI and a strongly lower high in the price. So what is that? That's hidden bearish divergence. And hidden bearish divergence indicates that the downtrend will continue. So the macro is showing us the likelihood of a continued downtrend. And then stepping out with the 3-day, it's showing us the likelihood of a continued uptrend. Now, what if that uptrend, simply took us up to this line? And then took us down. Something like that. I don't know. I'm guessing. So the uptrend will likely continue on this chart, but that does not mean that the new bull market has begun. Well, no. Well, I can just do it easier. We could get something like, forgive my tone, my energy is pretty low. We could just get another move like this. I mean, we would be breaking through. I don't know. This is all conjecture at this point. But what we're trying to make sense of is that on the macro chart, we've got hidden bearish divergence. And on the 3-day chart, we've got hidden bullish divergence. They both can be right. They both are right. It's just a matter of watching to see how it's going to play out. So, folks, that's what we're looking at. I better get off of this now because I'm starting to feel a bit weak here and I need to go lay down. But I just wanted to check in with y'all for a few minutes. Last week I was hospitalized from Tuesday to Friday. Strength is coming back slowly. Just have to take it easy. So I want to be present, and I'll be as present as I can, but I can't be that present. So I'm going to share some content on this channel that is not like content that I've shared before. I'm going to be talking about, I've got some videos that I was preparing even before I went into the hospital. I'm going to start releasing them to you, talking about different things, talking about faith, talking about AI, things of that nature. So I hope you enjoy them, and I will be back with more crypto content as soon as possible. Hopefully, I can jump on some more live streams here in the mornings. Oh, update on my wife's project in Indonesia, trying to raise $50,000 to rebuild the dormitory in Indonesia. I got an update from her. She's only $2,000 away. So she's that's really crazy when you think about it. She's raised 48 grand, and this Saturday we're doing a runathon, and we're gonna raise the rest of that 2 grand this Saturday. So thanks to all of you who helped by joining my Patreon. Appreciate it very much. But man, that happened really, really quick, and it's basically done. It's already being built, actually. I wish I had live video footage of it, but I'll show it to you guys when it's done. All right. Have a great day. May the joy of the Lord be your strength. May his favor be your shield. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just my opinions. Remember to do everything in your power to sleep in peace every night, wake in joy every morning, and walk in love every day. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.